of man. You hear so the biada. Ultimately, if it's a million, Rahodo be brashim. Then G. Wise under inspiration wrote, "This is God's method of bo nipana. There no plan say nipana function. The herbs that grow for the benefit of man, and the little handful of herbs kept and steeped and used for certain ailments have served tenfold. Yes, 100 times better purposes than all the drugs hidden under the mysterious names and dealt out to the sick." Mpanyinfoɔ bo bɛ sɛ aduro bɛgye wo a noa ne gona. Saa herbs yi so bɛgye wo a ɛde mmirika so na gye wo. Was it the drugs are not the solution to diseases? They destroy the body. Chemistry biara ni hɔ a yɛfa de gu honam wei mu a ɛnsɛ body no. Saa ɔkenkan wei nyinaa, drugs never cure disease. They only change its form and its location. When drugs are introduced into the system, for a time they will seem to have beneficial effects. A change may take place, but the disease is not cured. It will manifest itself in some other form. The disease which the drug was given to cure may disappear, but only to reappear in a very new form, such as skin diseases, ulcers, painful, diseased joints, and sometimes in a more dangerous and deadly form. Nature keeps struggling, and the patient suffers with a different ailments until there is a sudden breakdown of the whole system, and death follows. And until no walk and say, Yamma modern say, ye besua kwana, ye befasu ayusu herbs. There are simple herbs and roots that every family may use for themselves and need not call a doctor any sooner than they would call a lawyer. Maame under inspiration there kasa said, family bia betimi asua herbs ho adwuma kakra. Ebeboa no amanasa yare dom a wofie ho nyina, rather than calling for a physician. Enti na nwumre ye si ho ansa na yebeka immune system no. Yebekire mma no awo ade so no. Simple home remedies bia wonum betimi ayusu no ofie. Utimi hunu sɛ aboa nka ne yɔnko na ɛkye no awie na watu no nso no wɔtry sɛ wɔbɛtu no nso no na nsɛn nkwara mmienu de candle kerosene ɛne matches di agorɔ na sɛnea nkwara no si hyehyɛeɛ no na awerɛ hɔ de wɔn baa hospital surgeon ne hwɛ kom ɛna wɔsɛ mɛtumi ayɛ surgery deɛ but akwara bia behia surgery bɛyɛ 30 times ansa na wɔn matumi asurvive ne kɔ wɔn akyiri kɔ wiare hɔ nam no wɔn srɛ ho nam no kɔ wɔn nam de kakra bɛtetar ha wɔn nsa no deɛ mede betua wɔn nsa no so bɛntimi mbɛnde nkoto mfa hwee no an sɛ bɔwere bi na besi susu na wɔn bɛyɛ deformed maame baako decide sɛ me take me ban me man nkoye surgery na ma pe home remedy, natural remedy. Edi akotruchi no. Won mi yusu sa ha maya mu hwe comfrey de chire so. 1 month later, won with no cultural surgeon. Na ne ho adwire no. Comfrey has a way it can make new tissues grow very fast or no surgeon if you come was a way the Koran ya na etwa ama meton kwarai ho. Near one surgeon no medical science actually nyina natural remedies chen dear 100 times over. And I'm a maker say sanka ya apps no babuayem 10 times more or sometimes 100 times more. Comfrey no monhwe enye safe is obayam na wanom de akoyam a cause liver damage. And it's a water kiss ha may just away very careful. And in an run near can say yet ha money in an near funny fna. Yeah, what good track record. Na me catch bill. 100 times more useful chen in ro bebre. And idea some canon, and the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the people. Dear Biada serious assassin, ha ya drew the branches ya drew, na bona ya drew, the roots ya drew. Texas ha and Nancy Bill Hoy, a friend of brown recluse spider, saying what here. Ushan and nano yen tin ordinary spider. Na the color ni. This week ya me hunubi. Oh my feature. Sa brown recluse spider was original wa say na ya no wataye. Now you're very poisonous. So to make cow say pet. A dear bechina ho. Abumpunya. Day 1, day 2, day 3, next spread the cause are highly poisonous. Okawa poison no timi skin in na ifri ho na akọwi wo nampa flesh no afri ho na akọwi wo bones no so afri ho ananse kwa na aka no a ne nano ayese esa bompumpunya bebre or a highly poisonous brown recluse spider. A cause damage pa a drobiada ni drugstore and as a hospital ubetim dia treated sadie. The only treatment is surgery to cut off all the tissue that you think is infected. No antibiotics can handle this poison. It will eat up all the flesh, including the bones. Monshe sa Nancy son. And I repeat, Okawa adrobia ni hwa ebetimi abowo antibiotics bia ntimi nso ano just a surgery. And na frase every tissue no ne nam ne nyina no. Obaye ne surgery aboa no agye se wotwa ne aye tuntum ne nyina afri ho. Ana se wogya patient no mane wo. Asumdwem. When ne oka no ye twa tissue no nyina aye infected na afri ho ansa ya cancer animu amana healing. If you say adrobia ni we say it may handle sa ananso no yet chako timebo one pa we wo ka sa wo twa wan hwe ye kuraje so tu na ni nyina aka ho a highly toxic. Fortunately my way free Tennessee one would there and so okoda intensive care unit my intubating is chire ansana onya hodene and then say a young woman be the bikano no for no ye tu no for twetwene the no koto ICU chare ansana onya hodene is very deadly. And yet charcoal can treat this poison so easily. You make a charcoal paste. Put some water in a glass and put some charcoal, or the other way around, put the charcoal in first and put some water in it and stir it and make a paste, just as you are looking at. And then put it on the side where the spider bit you, and it will draw all the poisons, and within a few days, you'll be back to normal. Let's take a few minutes to talk about charcoal. In 1930, a French chemist, Bertrand, he took arsenic trioxide, 150 times the overdose, and swallowed it and followed it with some charcoal. And nothing happened. Later on, another pharmacist from France also did the same, took strychnine, that enough to kill 10 men, and also followed the swallowing with charcoal and stood there giving lectures. It is rumored that Idi Amin used to use this method to kill his enemies or cabinet ministers. He will call a party, and the one that he wants to eliminate, he will put some cyanide in the soup. And cyanide is so toxic that you cannot go take a spoonful and come back to take a second one. It will kill you that fast in front of everybody else. And yet, these French scientists took cyanide, swallowed it, and swallowed a teaspoonful of charcoal and continued to give lectures. You will need 80 teaspoonfuls of cyanide to overcome one teaspoon of charcoal. 1,500 years before Christ, Egyptians were using charcoal for most of their medicines. If you take 1 cube, 1 inch cube of charcoal, the surface, the space, the molecules, the space of 1 inch cube of charcoal is as large as 6 football fields. Sentia charcoal Timmy absorb poisons, and it does not absorb, but it adsorb, AD. There are tiny little holes all around the charcoal molecule. Now it pulls the poisons into itself. In Dallas here, the water that we drink from our tap came from the toilets that we flushed, or the bath water, or the washing water. It's all sent into one place, and they filter it with charcoal and come back to our kitchen to be drunk. Big cities in India. Minim sene Ghana si treating in Sudia. But charcoal, no one with the filter sani manina. Soja for a cocoon, gas masks in India. Charcoal ne shemu. Unya de share gas mask in now qua. A team filter poisons are hold on in. A soja for one musia parachuting. O si fam nani ubnina monubu. Now one mochiriswa. Beneath the cast the open charcoal powder shemho. Ne bois healing. Me ankasa mitimi hunu se. Me nkwara brim seche domasi. Me schoolmate baako. Na car fan and now so yamani nana. Near Nina, ya didn't call G. Doctors in a suggestion training and ye betty me iron. Can't it no so abejimra no na ye imped deformity or domasi. And paying for no fan and in a bad domas one mubua coconam, one with the brawa charcoal pasty tara so, and one de bitara and an aso. anche bia na nana sosoye or buy no ball or school honina. Charcoal a very, very useful idea. Se nansɛn Ghana Navy free kurom ha ba Ghana. Maame kama young woman. Na wotena ha kyɛ kakra stomach flora no nsuo no yɛ koraa sɛ free bottled water mu a etimi ma wo yamutu. Wo yamutu na wo fika ho no you lose salts ne electrolytes. That woman died. Branca so wo chakwa nka bɛboa no bebree. Wo yamutu saa no a wotumi fa chakwa bi na nsa bi menema makɔ Alaska holiday na yɛwɔ ship no mu no. Yɛkɔ bathroom na maame baako wɔde ne ba akɔgyina mmarima toilet no so. Wɔsi firi sɛ yɛba yɛ akora no yamtua na etuo. Enti mewie na mekɔ me cabin na mekɔ fɛ chako no bi na mede maa maame no ana mekyerɛ ɔmo address ne me phone number ka ho. Yɛwie cruise no nyinaa kɔɔ fie no na wɔfrɛ me sɛ meda wase bebree. Wode chako no maa no no. Wankɔ bathroom koraa bio kɔpem sɛ yɛbaeɛ. Chako no ɔno frɛ no Montezuma revenge. Sɛ obi kɔ baabi na sɛ ne yam otu a bra Spanish foɔ kɔ South America. Wɔnom kɔkum wɔnom nyinaa one tribe bi. Wɔnom hene de Montezuma. Ɛna sogyafoɔ no kɔnom nsuo. Na wɔnom nyinaa yam ohwie saa. Nti obi tu kwa na ne yam ohwie a medical terms a yɛde ma no Montezuma revenge. Na ano sɔfo bi meba Ghana, Black American, obe preachi. Na mene ne tena pray mu ne yɛdi nkɔmmɔ a na mse na waboaboa ho de. Wokɔ na wo yamutu a wobɛyɛ dan. Wɔmmoa no ho hwee. Ɛna mekɔ me nneɛma mekɔ yi chako no bi na mede maa no. Da me simu wɔ airport. Ohunu mia da no aso na no wɔno so korɔ ɔbɛba me. Na ni agye saa na ɔsɛ you save my life. Na mse deɛ na meyɛ. Wɔsɛ megyina pulpit so preaching na sɛ betia fi aka me na mehunu baabi a mɛkorɔ. Waduro no na boa me paa. Nyame ahyehyɛ in many ways sɛ chako ukotodwe ho no na ɔde bi kyerɛ so a etimi absorb poison ne nyina. Wɔna yare kidney failure akora no wode bi yɛ paste kakraka na wode tare wɔkyerɛ hɔ na wɔkyekyere so a etimi twe poisons ne nyina. Dua biara yɛ hardwood biara sa wohye na dane chako a woyam a etimi yɛ saa nneɛma nyinaa anaasɛ wotu clay hyire prapra asase no so ba 4 inches na wotu amena kɔ fam na akɔto hyire no a wofa na wohye hyire no anaasɛ wode tu gya mu a it can also do almost the same. Chako preparation na mekyerɛ wɔ ha yi. Woyɛ paste ne wie saa na wode paper towel afa so. Sɛnea mohwɛ. Wei so wɔde flaxseed na wayam de afra no. Sɛnea ɛbɛma nsuo no afɔ akyɛ na anya effect wɔ nea wopɛ sɛ wode yɛ no so. Wofa toilet paper anaasɛ paper towel na wode afa so sɛnea ɛnsɛ wo ntaade no. Na wode plastic akyekyere chako no ho. Ɛtɔ da bi leaky. Sɛnea ɛmɛsɛ wataade. Sɛnea mohwɛ ne yada. Yade ahodoɔ bebree. Ɛna chako timi boa. Onions sɛ timi yɛ nnuro ahodoɔ bebree. Wofa onions na wotwitwa na wode agu kyɛnse na wɔhwie honey. Ɛwɔ agu so. Unse ɔwɔ hɔ yɛ na ayɛ thick. Adeɛ bɛkye na honey na ayɛ Europe. Chemicals ɛwɔ gyene no mu nyinaa seeped into saa ɛwɔ no. Na wode ayɛ cough mixture. Ɛwɔ no count to hɔ sɛdeɛ ne afa small teaspoonful, pram. Ebetimi aboa wo mo. Sɛ nkwara no yɛanya flu or cold, bra ne mene mu afiri ase yɛ ne hene no firi nsuo kye ne ntɛm na kyea ne tiri to nkyɛn na fa hydrogen peroxide gu ne n'asono mu ma no nyɛ ma. Ɛwɔ hɔ a na watan ne ti no na wahwie agu na wasan de kakra agu mu. Ɛstɔbo cold no in its track. These are home natural remedies. Yeah, unhia sa wokɔ doctor hɔ. Breko no nti yɛbɛtwa so. Na ne tia ne sɛ drugs are not the solution to diseases. Nyame sɛ wɔde herbs bebree ama yɛn a ɛbɛtumi aboa yɛn wɔ yɛn asetena mu. Sɛ yɛhunu natural remedies no a, the Health and Temperance Department tumi tɔ books pii. Dr. Agatha Trash, ne mekeka nyinaa ne book no mu nam wayɛ encyclopedia of the Seventh-day Adventist physician no ɔwɔ Alabama. Ne na akyi akɔ England pii. Wɔn akyerɛkyerɛ me saa nnura yi bebree. Sɛ wowɔ bi wɔ fie hɔ a aloe vera no ne ɛka ho a, you don't need to call a physician. Ebetimi asa yadeɛ ahodoɔ bebree di mmirika. Let thy food be thy medicine. Nyame pharmacy no nnuro nko ara na yɛhwɛ no in its form. In Garden of Eden, ɔbɔ nipa wie no ɔto gyina sɛ aduane a mede ama no ɛbɛboa no a, the reason ɔsɛ eat the nuts, grains and vegetables no nneɛma a yɛnya firi mu ni. Ɛsɛ yɛnyarewa ahodoɔ no nyinaa. Yɛn monitor to. Heart problem. Garlic timisa 200 different other ailments. The heart is leading number one. At the end of our garlic, and especially garlic, I get very old, very, very, very effective. Niyama hodo to me 220 different problems, including high blood pressure and cholesterol. Sa na genesis so etimi ya niyama hodo pi. Cayenne pepper, makono and no are very, very good for cardiac problems. And the benefits of mako and amorphe a dozen year. But says a break up turmeric and so or modern says a be organa, a bean power breakfast. And a pie with breakfast. Now, instead, so there's a pineapple and a banana, ni grapes, incanca berries, either say blueberries, a helpful antioxidants, BBR, and that's a strawberries. Any of the berries may be very effective. So your share lemon and near mamu. And nona quay or cassette a boa bringing the blood pressure from 200 to 109. Yeah, until ne was a main fadrobia. See, ya bibia this week. I am more than say yensu, the bay agony say, ya dear hodua a kum nipan, yeah, baba more than say, but stay away from those ideas. And then we can see a better immune system once. And yamre, but you see, pay attention. All diseases have their ties from this immune system. If you're going to get heart attack, if you're going to get diabetes, kidney failure, it is because something is wrong with the immune system. And we want to pay attention now, make it as slow as possible to make it easier to understand. The immune system is highly complex. It's only second to the brain. King David wrote in Psalm 139, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. It's because of the immune system, I think that's why he wrote that. If you see how they function, there is one main function for our immune system. They talk about immune system. What is it? It's the soldiers that have been put in our bodies to protect us against diseases. Its main function, first of all, is to study who is Kwasi Yeboah, so that he will know that the foreign protein that has entered into Kwasi Yeboah is not part of him. Therefore, we need to get rid of it. The immune system is so complex that if it gets confused, it can kill a human being in a few hours. For example, if the human immune system thinks that dust, a pollen from a flower doesn't belong to Kwasi Yeboah, what they will do is to cause allergy so that you find a way to get rid of that dust. If he decides that your knee joint or your elbow joint doesn't belong to you, it will cause rheumatoid arthritis. And sometimes when you eat certain food, the immune system is thrown off and will think that the whole body doesn't belong to you, and they will set out to fight it. And that is the diseases like lupus or all the autoimmune diseases. What that means is that the immune system is so confused that he thinks that the person that doesn't belong to him. And so they go to fight the diseases. Its destructive capabilities are enormous. God designed it that way because there is always viruses, bacteria, yeast, fungus trying to get into our body to destroy us. And therefore, the immune system have to be very, very efficient. Let us assume that they are the soldiers in Burma camp to protect us. The government of Ghana has soldiers, some on the border between Nigeria, Ghana, and Togo. They will make sure that if you are not a Ghanaian citizen, you have a visa to come in. There are some soldiers in our body who are acting as border patrol to keep illegal aliens out of the body. The two main divisions are the T cells. Yesterday, someone asked a question about the T cells. And then the B cells. There are different functions that all of them need to perform in our body. But one munyina payini pan, soja for we body munyina payini pan, your friend the T cells. Abejimra no ane ye ko school no secondary school no one say the gland thymus na hunim faso, but now one munim sa. Immune system nunyina one headquarters no abuda koko muhase. Ye benkum ni nifashia no hona thymus gland no wo. Hona immune system sinyina headquarters no wo. T cells to say one my echo Burma camp special soldiers be what school be Ghana soldier for one my generals no ne panimfo pa no ko one more special club be a soldier ne hu be antimi nko ho bi soldier for na we mu no one headquarters ne thymus gland one ko school brepa no one musua bi biada fa Kwasi Yeboah mo senia bibi kiti biaba wonu betimi command billions and billions of the B cells and say wokoye we T cells no ankasa wonu mo achemie no ye wo T helper cell and ye wo T suppressor cell but in T no ye nka wonu nyina mom T cell no in the master gland. Se B cells no kochire germ bia wonum twitwanemu na de na abechia ade wonum was special diplomatic channel bia your friend lymphatic system. There are two main circulations in the way body mu ha. Ni moja nammo no your friend circulatory system. Na nsuo nammo no nye nsuo kwa lymph no and on special diplomatic channels are immune system no so one mo faso na bibia ntwintwa mo won manam. For example, bibi twa wonsa say ya eni nansa na omoto om ha atwedwoa dwoa na hye omoto om no eye wonum offices no back immune system back. Sene ebe infection na ewo wonsa mu no enko wo body mu nyina na enkoku wo onum duru ho na wonum ache. Sem yema menum binya breast cancer na ye de no ko hospital surgery na ye koyi breast cancer ne firi ho a no on makọ ne mortal mu akoyi lymph glands yuana ho no bi na ye ahwe mu ahwe se cancer cell no afiri ne nofu no mu ekosa lymph gland no mu akoduru ho de a na kire se yenim ba bi aduro na gese ye man chemotherapy fi sa hwe ya ye yi surgery ne de nso ahwe ye bitimi ekono. Asoja for na spread it all over our bodies. Nientia ye can say COVID and now say HIV ayapun some yadian. A mupa they can go and convince the cells any T cells and say may you done for me enemy me ba benuat na haya me cause a problem bia. They are able to trick the T cells. Yeah, we use Japan as a so boy human. No question, no order COVID now than as a produce baby COVID. Instead, so no be protected one. I feel the war here, mama COVID, but some yadi pa. Into your T cells. Yeah, one didn't 1 minute free time or so. Any will B cells. Meaning baby a one day nya one didn't free it. But one yina one mammy a way and casemu a who bone marrow. A one year one yina so ja phone yina ya one boy a home by. The cancer day can one yina was channel special diplomatic channel was chile. Kromfua on fanamfa KJT na fanamfa krom traffic ye too busy ho one more sa diplomatic channel ye lymph system one from sa one timiko mojam kokun ho one timisa ba one lymph ade no na wo hwe wo ben kum ha o clavicle no ahona tube ni nyina kokohia thoracic duct no one diplomatic channel no kwa na hone could see and a motion here. When you lymph glands, one headquarters in a pana ye thamos in ha spleen, so one organs in Nubia. In Tibibicha one saha, your lymph glands be below high to stop from getting into your blood and killing you. If you would will be brave all over the body, one special channels in all. Now, you will B cells. Senior Mikayano. One more who do be brave. Idea B cells in the end said, different ones. New beer, Ajuma, oye. One might train dear. But one moon train can see to say T cells, T cells and any commanders. Yeah, one moon trip by my camp, special area. Quarano, B cells no koyajumana, one moon tree. Yeah, dear beer, nasa virus beer, one the cultural one. Now, one me very, 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 dear. B cells no produce, idea a friend antibodies. Say James bia be rubber de no na say B cells no nam ho no hu ni say pe what in the say attach it. Na nyese be a process will be a say na we gonna free process. Sa B cells no dey nye mistake it is a. One nya attach it to a germ no. The germ is a dead idea. One mo chino ne atwitwa ne mo obia one ye kwese ye bo anu wabo awura mu no. No one masesa ne nyina de akọ afa diplomatic channels na akọkyerɛ T cell no sɛ abra abhwɛ wɔ mehyia na ha na mtwitwa ne mo yɛnyɛ ndɛn wɔtumi ka sɛ yɛmfa cytotic cells no mmra no wɔn mmeko anaasɛ wɔnyɛ harmful anaasɛ wɔyɛ harmful ne wɔn mo ya ne sɛ the body produces 100 billion of these B cells, 100 million an hour. Don't should back be a bone marrow produce 100 million. Nasada obayaran. One team upon 10 times, 1,000 billion B cells will be produced in a day. Samunyina munkona munkohwe yade no ne farabai. Na sa bra one B cell na no chino. Na what the no kochire T cell no. Was T cell no the message command B cells bebrebe ni nyina. Samunyina munhwehwe kwan a ye befa so akum saa virus yi. Now, if you want the microscope, now one juggle one brains, now one more dwene yeah, add some figures. I find the solution. I am so interested. Tina David said, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. The first B cell will be a drug associated treaty saya diana. Would the Mikako country T cell? Na T cell for na conscience, and I'm so why I didn't. Yeah, be promote. A promote a mark of memory cell. Memory cell no de kyerɛ sɛ wonwu da. Enti sɛ will be called Rich Hospital. No ɔkɔ catch infection bi wɔ hɔ. Na T cell B cell for no bɔ mmɔdena hunu adura yɛde treat no a. Now on team produce sadronum yet me treaty nipanwa. 10 years later, se nipa kronwa koji anaso okokolebo hospital no ko kwachi sa infection no a B cell no akofa adroba no wada so body no wonwi. On me dim ne kafre no. No baba hwe was na 10 years ago aboa we ni nua ba ha. Method in chemistry yedi kumuno ne. This second time, utimi kuno faster. Sa method in a one de a year vaccine. One me shed a mouth, sa ya bi. Germs no na virus no we weak. Ontimi ma won yare keseno. Na body no a juggle B cells no a kopum se ba ko be hunu. The way to treat it. We need huna ni amana memory cell. Utimi treat ni panano wanwa yes we measles, we chicken pox. 10 years later, if there is an epidemic of chicken pox, akwana wo no di meka ko kan kire say kwan we ye fast. This time no one be kun faster until na wunya chicken pox in the account no at least 10 years and sana uhia baby at a tetanus no to be protected sa akopum say memory cell no or memory surgery no be free ho a memory cell in the air can na sane air can one B cell can make 10 billion antibodies every hour or 1,000 billion when we're sick. Yame, oh boy, home by pass and keep immune system healthier as ye be ya DNA near my a bit immune system now weakener. 1,000 billion in a day. Send ye beya, one bakwa coffee yadiano, na yakono. Na B cells no mu baako wɔ a friend NK cell, natural killer cell. One day we a special killer. Na no, it is a X-ray. Se cell biya nam ho kora, or no pen who say cell way, ya dear womb, cancer abishim. Ya nya ho baby, and no one a de cancer no, and I say, covert abishim. Yeah, a produces brass B cells no I can in them. No, I can't soldier for no say monko you say or initiate chemical they a bit may destroy cell. I the most important immune system cell. Yeah, we body. One mean a juma dear. But any case no one faso. A dear which ne alcohol. It is any a war watchman. And I say border patrol or say seven Nigeria for Magana. Ubakono anum sanabra, no answer would in the peco. B cell no chiri, jam crown or the cow so and yahi, fanacol manuncon baby. Ubiada baburun sana. At that time, no anchor sound, I on so abrun sabi. Ubia obedia sichre. And that's a plenty of sardian. That time, NK cell were to me are destroying or no ability to work. Now, if you're under microscope, Sabre no to me kum yade papa, and as a James papa, Waburun son or Nam ho saying. And wintina bra, quare dear sichre brea, emwa one, and my immune system confirm. A dear a hapa and a modern say. Near ma be weakening immune system. You better listen to her. We stay away from it. Another group of B cells are such a form. One me immune by a being monocytes. Monocytes no so need the macrophages, depend on baby or no needing back consider dendrites. One me and the same cell. So we moja mo a friend of monocytes. Our tissue no my friend of macrophages. Macro a large phage eating. And say or a stationary so a friend of dendrites. Usually dendrites no what I kotna war no aji kron ho what is it Y letter Y yaboa no apajan sasa or train say illegal alien ti be ura kron ho no what didn't say kwa macrophages no so dear one de hunu say cell bia na gem bia na virus bia ura ha odini ka okoya no asarandon no what no aba ne body no one kita panie bi epidemic need be no what they are want to say so no what drain germs no anasa virus no munsuo ni nyina to ago. David say we are fearfully and wonderfully made. The only problem I am macrophages ni nyane say so wo near the sichira and my germs no the membrane no ye den wo de panie wo mu anabu and until na one me dear sichira no tie yare ahodo bia fi se brebia no soja for no NK cell abronsa because so when you sichira pi monocytes e betimi abo so ne panie no wo mu na go I say in fact Loma Linda Dr. Bako student and a discover aside Ellen G. White can say sugar clogs the system. The warrior research in the late 60s and 70s, chances and who is idea. So beer obedi sugar, the immune system cut off for almost 4 hours and send a betting answer about. So during that period of time, so we'll call baby infection, say you have COVID, or quite a year, what so to time what they cover to the Baba Fee. If he said, I see children no away and see a children a virus no cora, intimate fa panny and womb. With the panny and womb, and now diabetes for your friend A1C. Proteins, a sugar, I attached to it. Sugar not attached to A1C and the hemoglobin. Opman said the NEA. One who said red cells and Nami Moja and the Muno. The Cassia 8 microns big. And a red cell, Moja so a size in 4 microns. Where then now the 8 microns are 4 microns. Yamiayan in such a way say red cells in a timmy fold over. Now Bora a Mojanum. Would you situate and as a way a diabetica? Membrane then 2.1. Who can say fold over and timmy fold over. And into warm circulation, a big problem, my end. Neutrophils, one see a white cells, now suja for no be one doors of papa. So when you're cold now to now to China, a horona neutrophils, while soldiers are one the Ankwana a protector war, a kun ama one, and a war to the intercessor to go. Bribiada we Sadie double in production, bone marrow no produce more. Senior yame bobo uhubai, or no yame my doddy a winipum. A soldier for no should be namohe, but sinophils. One median kita pania. Ubeshia one me and one kita baby to say flashlight. A drone. Who say James no qua no spray any James no one so. Who are working no one may a free one in control allergies. Spray no spray any histamine. Who call baby now we are allergic to flowers, be it is a near legona. Shim is son of his in the no one my working. Now one mark actually says security. It's not face no security in show a whole pinro send ye block who knows no. Now one quanko home more flowers, pollen, and found my body more. Over here near so you call drugstore near cotton near spray a hunimu. Now quan no be send ye betty man home more of those. Now so ya for no coon. One bread boy a home vampire. So your neighbor can a compliment. One dear or nya boa pe say what is it? Dunsini and answer tabobi a protein. One day who said virus be a we emoja or him ham no de abana bonapampum pem no akuno a piece of protein. Now, quite one to me who say, ya dear, ba, ye readium, amazing. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. Yen necessary a bois, masuja for 80 me juma, boko, we are readium. For example, a situated a weekend, sad immune system, sadia, a weekend pa. Now, stress, dear, would compare and yet, last year, I'm some cancer. I studied here in Boston. One more 5,000 nurses. One more catch them say, Mom, 5 minutes. Will be a dear, the boyfriend and a girlfriend, the no she no pa. Would this come out will be so one could see dying? Water, mamma. Oko eno akocho obi dan photo na wode abechiro won scanning nyina ahwe 5 minutes so ye pe ene wo so don se munya adwendwene no ene won mu jae won mu fa kapre anasa swab de share won dodom in the cheek to measure their IgA, salivary IgA, the immune system. And none the bachelor one say ya dear bono how strong is his immune system, the IgE. One to me who say for thinking about an unpleasant experience for just 5 minutes, their immune system was reduced by 50, as much as 70%. 5 minutes. Can you imagine? Say, Ubi our quadahuanajo, Nabo nomians and no problem. Jinana sunu wajuna husa dahosa kwapman upon for 5 minutes, crowd reduce immune system by 70%. 2 hours be reduced by how much? And in China, yeah, nana the Barbara Casaminian said, be what a yes, holy, pleasant. Think about these things. Yeah, medebeja ne meeting in answer. It doesn't matter what you're going through, let go. And saying if our medical students be, some say students they be our here sika. And now kwarabi wa yare cold. Ne hunamu ti siyosa. And ye de asawa bo cold no swab. Yes, students more person ye de cold, you de samo. Volunteer yourself and we'll give you the code and we'll give you some money. Pan will be volunteer. Tia Tehino no fraquarano hinum one near the ashe student in whom send a baya or benya code. The interesting thing, those students who were under stress, maybe school fees has not been paid, or the assignment hasn't been made. All the students who were under stress caught the flu. Those students who were not under stress, nothing happened. They got the money for free, even though we infected them. But modern say, Bible say, no more wine a bedroom intimidate 1 inch are 2 problems. Say, sa ne yan shiafi kura, ye can say, no matter what the problem is, let go. Now, ye be the chairman, Dr. Richard. I will repeat it. Of inkura mouse and will fill a anchor drum with water halfway. Anchor no fi nim ebobia nam no won makugina so no odi nkura no go. They had to swim in order to survive. The strongest rat swam for 15 minutes and got drowned. He took another set of rats and put them in. Just before they drowned, he picked them all up one by one and dried them, gave them food to eat, and then put the same rats back into the water. This time, they swam for 60 hours, not 60 minutes, 60 hours. Why? Same water, the same mouse. The deduction is that Richard had given them the hope. So when they were tired and willing to give up life, one of them will say, hey, cheer on, keep going.
Yeah.
Richard, Richard, Pacho, your microphone is on. Dr. Richard is getting ready to come and take us out into Kosusun. Yeah, Mesra and say, we are sofu, we are husband, we are mother, we are business manager. Give your people the hope, and they will produce more, and they will have a stronger immune system. In the basic, that's will be a question for a net additional year. What may be said. The most brave. Mama, yes.
Doctor,
Your question.
that's how I
Sir.
will be a question. Just a minute. So there's a question in the chat box from Richard Kujo. It says there are some food supplements being sold off the shelf. Some of these food supplements include activated charcoal capsules. Can we rely on these activated charcoal capsules? Any risk associated with consuming these? Secondly, some of these activated charcoals are designated as teeth whitening agents. What are the risks associated with mistakenly consuming these teeth whitening agents, whitening activated charcoals as food supplements? I think there are three questions put together. Main Enjichimwana say you heard all. Doc.
Yeah.
Pachoyo, thank you.
Biada wo fan. High blood pressure drugs so any medication. And so far, a good activated charcoal, it will absorb the drugs also. You will not get the effect you need from that medication. Charcoal has that ability. Therefore, if there is a capsule that is being sold with any medicine and you add charcoal to it, all you will get is the charcoal. To get a tablet, charcoal tablet, to whiten your teeth doesn't make much sense. It's better to take the charcoal to clean your teeth. It is very, very, very effective in whitening your teeth, but just brush it with it or put some on your toothbrush and brush it that way. As a wolf, I do be other would mix it charcoal. The charcoal would absorb the effects of the drugs.
Okay. Thank you very much. Another question. Is there any remedy for asthma, please? I know of one who gets throat blocked from phlegms.
Asthma, there are treatments for asthma. GNA is very effective. Kind of thing. It will break the obinya asthmatic attack. Or yeah, GNA garlic, immediately yum them and can break the problem. The letting catch his breath until he can get into hospital. And there are many. So we'll go most of those herbs are yet very effective for asthmatic attacks.
Okay, there's another question here.
Or to take bone marrow from animal bones when eating, no. If you can, don't even eat that meat, let alone the bone marrow, which is infected one way or the other. Eat the vegetables and your body will make all the bone marrow that you need. You don't need to get it from the animal source.
Okay, thank you very much. Any question from the auditorium? Okay, please go ahead.
Hello. Hello. Okay. Doctor, I'm there. I'm say, I can't check out some. Na me busa say me tutu obro na mane ehye mane check kwa the same thing na say no different room. Number
can't it na warm charcoal sauce from burnt toast. One in the 1800s, one charcoal humfaso. We had the toast, bro. I just saw manage. But yeah, when it's a protein, I war toast, and I say, what brew, and I say, and what food also. and burn charcoal, more harmful to the body. And yes, over charcoal straight. Hard wood be burn it, grind it, and use it.
Okay, he has a second
Related
question.
ones, yeah, Book and Bible House tunnel. One must that pass through oxygen until one must heighten the amount of chemicals that particular cube of charcoal can absorb. You can improve the adsorptive power of that charcoal, and that's what they've done into one friend activated charcoal.
But now can spider so be one sem. Now spider they don't TV na say spider for front now can one sem.
Then Brown used spider. Emphasize one and nano water chain and answer for the brain. There are thousands of spiders. But so when stay away from them.
Doctor, that's be now last one. Sugar no na any quantity sugar. Anything medical crabby but too much anymore. If you say boy na say my di kura that's it.
And Rawut ye lachan. And run now.
Because you are number one lie.
Say fiber non can hold dear. Na ye fructose no a trema kura ye deadly. But say ye pineapple and I say sugar cane and I say any fruit be a fiber can hold dear. It's okay. Mankasa may be be a sugar, but near na can say near fructose woman are deadly. But more than I say you have the fiber medium to help you.
Thank you.
Now, my question in the house, I wouldn't pony and them.
Doc, I can't question about, and you said I your question, but I am more about charcoal. May you naturopathy, kakra, my year for 3 years. And yen addition when you say, a dear baby, and I say, a dear ye dino, put me the activated charcoal powder. Your poisonous trees and your poisonous leaves. And on to me find activated charcoal powder. Into yen shannon so. Say, begin now, would they ever be a drone? A your poisonous one, and I say, and your poisonous one. Into Mr. Roman shannon see you, pa. And say, what for Bibia, night a day, I call you. I'm your problem. It is a war, so person activated charcoal powder. Over to me. And I have by Dr. Training a conference and money in our son. You were winning dear baby, and it is over, or how be another say, won't use Susania mana, not an swung, and no humanity. I bet me a boy, young. Amen.
Amana das baby, so dear baby. Okay, let me slice the whole day copum and I do. But no harm and kakrana. Fatcher one. A humban for so I'm on board.
Okay, Doc, herbal medicine say into on chromono. Obi you say immune booster. Aha. Now since you are deception adores and other doors, I bet then who dear ye.
I watch the saying I have an answer for that. I struggle with the same question. Saying I mean, yeah, health and yeah. Yes, I'll be driven no could at one thing now woman. And then I'm more fast near mistake. May see an answer, my neighbor. It can kill you.
Thank you.
Any answer for that question, Patrick? Collins are raising in Collins in team.
So, Doc, my question, and they say the charcoal
So we really have their network.
Question number. Question number. Internet number. And so
Especially children below 5 years. Thank you.
If it's internet, no, not cut off.
But what can say?
Say the but near what can't be any white.
But me how can you use? Do you have any age limit? Children below 5 years?
No, and quite to me fat. And I know they are safe, but the question in my internet no more papa. Children 5 years can take it.
So there's another question. What about chronic?
My question you know I know upon here. Obese microphone is open.
That's your last question. What about chronic joint pain? Sometimes I feel sharp pains in my sacral bone. I'm saying, obviously, one of the pain or feeling in the sacral bone. No, Pacho, tell me,
Mama, what you mean? Can?
Pacho, we're reading out one question. Pacho, tell me.
Pacho, I difficult to hear you from here. I'm saying internet no yet the kakra.
Okay. So if you can hear me, I'll repeat the question again. What about chronic joint pains? Sometimes I feel sharp pains in my sacral bone. I'm saying,
Chronic joint disease.
I'll be to you one the sacral pain, bone pain. Okay.
Mama, it seems to say the internet is down.
Okay. See, waiting your answer. Yamisha.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. And as your numbers online, any Facebook or it's encouraging. And thank you, Cambodia Church, for coming. Yamisha. As we all know, the videos have been recorded on Tema West Adventist YouTube channel, so you can go back and at your leisure time listen to it and make notes. So it is there, Tema West Adventist YouTube channel. All the videos are. So before we a closing prayer, there are a few announcements. The closing prayer will be given to us by our pastor, Pastor Peter. So I'll read out the announcement and then we'll have a closing prayer. So the first one is for our mushroom farm, our harvest city, and we've learned how natural foods can help improve our health. So let's start by getting some of the mushrooms so you can see them. It's very affordable. So see them and buy some. Secondly, we have the COVID vaccination happening here, Sabbath, after church, 6th April, or says that church had. Into our first dose, please come with your national ID. Well, our second, come with your ID.